From the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, it's time for Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl.
And welcome to the Collins Aerospace Studio here at the Nordloff Center. I'm Greg Peterson, your host, and this is the Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl, third place game. Let's meet our teams. The Winnebago Indians are here in the third place game after losing to the Keith Country Day Cougars. It was a valiant effort, though, from a very young, it must be said, Winnebago team. Katie, you're the captain. Let's meet you guys again.
My name is Katie, captain of the Winnebago Scholastic Bowl team, coached by the lovely and immortal Kraken. To my left is Kaylee, and to my right is Annalise.
Welcome back. And on the Auburn side, Auburn lost a 20-point heartbreaker in their semifinal against Dixon, but it was a valiant effort, and they're here to try and finish on a high note if they can. Luke, let's meet your team.
I'm Luke. On my right is Ben. On my near left is Jamie. On my far left is Aaron.
Welcome as well. So it's the third place game. That doesn't mean the rules are any different. We start, as always, with the buzz-in round, which is brought to you by Rockford University. Fingers on buzzers. Here we go. What disability is shared by the comic book character Al in the Deadpool series and by attorney Matt Murdock, who's, Luke?
Blindness?
Yes. Daredevil. In September 2024, at least 40 people died in Lebanon when hundreds of what devices used by that's Luke?
Pagers?
Pagers exploded. What president who commuted his mentor Philippe Pétain's death sentence to life in prison designed France's Fifth Republic, which he led until Luke?
De Gaulle?
Starting off with the hat trick, yes. What was the surname of the Adventist brothers who ran the Battle Creek Sanitarium and founded a company that makes cereal like Rice Krispies? Kaylee?
Kellogg?
That's right. What novel in which Constance Bonacieux helps to retrieve the diamonds of Queen Anne is by Alexandre Dumas and is named for a trio of Jamie?
Three Musketeers.
Certainly, certainly. The twin paradox arises from what phenomenon predicted by special relativity in which moving clocks appear to move slower than, that's Luke?
Time dilation?
Is correct. What actress, who plays the title character in 2025's live-action film Snow White, played that's Kaylee?
Rachel Ziegler.
Is right. What institution, which was replaced by Pet Alternatives, was dechartered in 1836 after its president, Nicholas Biddle? Luke?
Second Bank of the United States?
Yes, and I did need the of the United States there. What collection, whose story of a patient woman named Griselda is the last of its 100 tales, is by the 14th century Italian Jamie?
Decameron.
Yes, Giovanni Boccaccio there. What country, whose provinces include its western region of Anbar, has access to the open sea near its port of Basra and is governed from Baghdad? Luke?
Iraq?
Is right. What leader who resigned after the April 19th revolution in 1960 was the autocratic first president of South Korea? Luke?
Boone?
No, sorry. Winnebago with a chance if they want it. Annalise?
Kim?
No, but good guess there. This is Syngman Rhee, R-H-E-E. What mural, located at the Santa Maria delle Grazies refectory, shows Jesus and his apostles seated around a long table? Jamie?
Last Supper.
Is right. Equilibrium constants exist for what class of reactions written using a pair of arrows, one going towards and one going away from the products? Luke?
Reversible?
Well done. And that's the round. So Auburn off to a hot start with 100, but it's Winnebago 20, Auburn 100, heading into our first break. We'll see you in a moment. And welcome back. It's going to be time for the volleyball round in just a minute, but before we get there, I'd like to thank our judge today, Paul Von Driska from our sponsors at Bergstrom. Paul, thank you for your help today and for all the other games that you've judged over the course of this series. Our volleyball round is teamwork questions, Answers need to come from the captains. That's Luke, and that's now Annalise. First question is coming Auburn's way. Here we go. What set of 4 laws denounced by the Kentucky and Virginia resolutions restricted immigration and free speech and were signed by John Adams?
Alien and Sedition Acts.
Yes. Winnebago. What scientist who names gamma-ray emitting bubbles found in the Milky Way was an Italian-American who helped develop the first nuclear reactor?
Stevenson.
Sorry, no, it's Enrico Fermi. Auburn. What author, who wrote about Frank Osbaldistone in his novel Rob Roy, depicted a son of Cedric of Rotherwood who loves Lady Rowena in Ivanhoe?
Sir Walter Scott.
Yes. Winnebago. The links between the Trueba and Del Valle families are explored in what 1982 debut novel by Isabel Allende?
The House of Spirits?
Sorry, no, it's the House of the Spirits, and because it's a title, it's got to be exact.
Yeah, that's fine.
Auburn. What injuries can be treated using split-thickness grafts, have their severity denoted in degrees, and can result from exposure to acid or flames?
Yeah. Burns.
Yes. Winnebago. What territory contains reclaimed land at Cotai, tops Las Vegas as the largest gambling center, and is a Chinese city that was once controlled by Portugal?
Meow.
Real close, but Macau, sorry. Auburn. In what country were rivals such as Canaan Banana and Joshua Nkomo sidelined as Robert Mugabe consolidated dictatorial power in the former Rhodesia?
Oh, Zimbabwe?
Yeah.
Zimbabwe?
Yeah. Winnebago. In what phase of respiration does contraction of the rib cage and relaxation of the diaphragm lead to air flowing out of the lungs?
Exhalation?
Yeah. Auburn. What city, whose Merdeka Palace is used by the president Joko Widodo, will be replaced as a capital city by Nusantara and lies on Java in Indonesia?
Jakarta? Yes. Jakarta?
Correct. Winnebago. What British author depicted the Blitz in The End of the Affair and wrote about the persecution of a Mexican whiskey priest in The Power and the Glory?
Faulkner?
No, that one's Graham Greene. Auburn. What musical ensembles, which often include a vihuela and a guitarrón, play ranchera, a genre of traditional music from western Mexico?
Mariachi?
Is correct. Winnebago. What Celtic hero could suck his thumb to gain insight, an ability he accidentally gained by burning his thumb while frying the salmon of knowledge?
Finn McCool?
Yes. Nice get. Auburn. In what experiment, which disproved J.J. Thomson's plum pudding model, were alpha particles scattered by nuclei within sheets of a precious metal?
Gold foil. Gold foil.
Is correct. And that is the round. So heading out of that volleyball round, it's Winnebago at 40, Auburn at 170, but we're going to stop caring about points and start caring about food right now.
Born Jason DeFord, what Nashville-born rapper turned country singer shares his stage name with a fruit-filled sponge cake?
And welcome back. It is time for the Bergstrom bonus question, which is sponsored by Salamone's Italian Restaurant. It's one question, it's on the buzzer, and we're playing for a pizza and pasta party rather than any points. Here we go. Born Jason DeFord, what Nashville-born rapper turned country singer shares his stage name with a fruit-filled... Jamie?
Jelly roll?
Yes. So you've won your team no jelly rolls, but pizza and pasta, courtesy of Salamone's. We'll be back with the lightning rounds right after this. And welcome back. It's time for today's lightning round, which is powered, as always, by IBEW Nika. Winnebago, you're going to have your first pick on these lightning rounds. We know both teams that the answers need to be coming from Annalise and Luke. And you're going to have 60 seconds in your choice of New Jerseyans, 2 Middle E's, or Taylor Swift.
2 Middle East?
I'm going to be honest, I just lost a bet, but 2 Middle E's it is. I need you to give me these 4-letter words whose second and third letters are both E. 60 seconds. And remember to speak up, given that these are all four-letter words with the same thing in the middle. Here we go. The meat used in cheeseburgers.
Beef.
Yes. Body parts treated by a podiatrist.
Feet.
Yes. Automaker behind the Wrangler SUV.
Jeep.
Yes. Underwater formation of rock or coral.
Reef.
Yes. A slang term meaning to suddenly throw an object.
Yeet.
For real, yeah. A person with similar characteristics, such as on a jury.
Pass.
The green and white plant in the onion family.
Pass.
To suddenly change direction.
Pass.
A document indicating ownership.
Deed.
Yes. A long central frame at the bottom of a boat.
Pass.
A person with similar characteristics, such as on a jury.
Pass.
Green and white plant in the onion. And that is time, but you got 6 of those right, so well done. Auburn, you're having 4 coming your way. They are 4-letter words whose second and third letters are both E. Again, the more clearly you can speak, the better, given this category. A person with similar characteristics.
Pass.
A green and white plant in the onion family.
Leek.
Yes. To suddenly change
Pass.
long central frame at the bottom.
Heel.
Yes. A person with similar characteristics, such as on a jury.
Meat.
No. To suddenly change direction.
Veer.
Yes. And that means you've taken shots at everything. So well done on 3 steals there. A person with similar characteristics, that is a jury of your peers. It's a peer. So, 1 lightning round done, 1 to go. Auburn, you are taking your pick of New Jerseyans or Taylor Swift.
New Jerseyans.
It's a captain's choice of New Jerseyans. Name these people who were born in New Jersey. 60 seconds on the clock. Winnebago, you'll get the steals. 19th century U.S. president who served non-consecutive terms.
Cleveland.
Yes. Artist whose songs include Born to Run.
Pass.
Conservative Supreme Court justice who died in 2016.
Oh, Scalise? Yes. Scalise?
No. The man who killed Alexander Hamilton.
Burr.
Yes. Beat Generation poet who wrote Howl.
Ginsberg.
Yes. Singer of I Will Always Love You and My Love Is Your Love.
Oh my God. I'll pull it later.
Pass.
Governor of the state from 2010 to 2018.
Christie.
Yes. NBA center who won 3 rings as a Laker with Kobe Bryant.
LeBron.
No.
James.
Jazz pianist who wrote 1 O'Clock Jump and was known as Count.
Pass.
Author of American Pastoral.
I've got it. It's Larkin.
Larkin.
No. The artist whose song, and that is Time. So 4 right on that one for 40 points. As I make some marks on my paper so I know what's coming over. Winnebago, you're going to have 30 seconds to try and clean up the 6 that they left for you. Name these people who were born in New Jersey. Artist whose songs include Born to Run.
Lady Gaga.
No. The conservative Supreme Court justice who died in 2016.
Stevenson.
No. Singer of I Will Always Love You and My Love Is Your Love.
Whitney Houston.
Is correct. NBA center who won 3 rings as a Laker with Kobe Bryant.
Stevenson.
No. Jazz pianist who wrote 1 O'Clock Jump and was known as Count.
Joplin.
No, it's Count Basie on that one. And we are out of time there. You did steal one of them. Let's clean it up. I think some of the parents at home are going to be shouting out. Born to Run's by Bruce Springsteen. The conservative Supreme Court justice, you guys were real close. It's Antonin Scalia. There's not a second S. The NBA center who was on those Laker teams with Kobe is Shaq. It's Shaquille O'Neal. Count Basie, like I said. And American Pastoral is by Philip Roth. So that's the lightning rounds. We've got Winnebago at 110. We have Auburn at 240. And we'll have our final challenge playing for that third place finish after this. Welcome back to today's final challenge, which is brought to you by Mercy Health. We're back on the buzzer here. 20-point questions this time. These scores are going to move pretty fast. Here we go. What 1688 event in England, known by a two-word name, caused the fall of New England Governor Edmund Andros and the end of Catholic rule in Maryland? That is Katie.
Protestant Reformation.
Sorry, no? Luke?
Glorious Revolution.
That's right. What principle, also called the law of parsimony, often expressed in terms of zebras and horses, claims that the simplest explanation is usually... Jamie?
Occam's razor.
Yes. What Chinese-American author depicted a group of women who get together to... Jamie?
Tan.
2 in a row. Amy Tan. What word starting with L denotes the groups that donate a pair of electrons to a central metal atom in a complex ion or coordination compound? Well, tough advanced chemistry there. That's a ligand or ligand. What god, who rode a donkey during his return to Olympus, used a net to catch his wife? Luke.
Hephaestus.
Nice job. Greek god of the forge. After she and her lover lost the Battle of Actium, what queen died? Jamie?
Cleopatra.
Is correct. What character who describes having a damp, drizzly November in his soul in a 19th century novel works on the Pequod and narrates? Jamie?
Ishmael.
Correct. Moby Dick there. What Russia-born author of the treatise On the Spiritual in Art created the abstract improvisations and organized the Blue Rider movement? That's time. That's Vasily Kandinsky there. In August 2024, the U.S. completed a prisoner exchange with what country that freed Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Ben?
Russia.
Is correct. In 2023, what country passed a reform bill reducing the power of its Supreme Court, an initiative of the... That's Luke.
Israel.
Nice job. That's right. What 1777 battle, which included fights at Bemis Heights and Freeman's Farm in upstate New York, was a victory for U.S. forces? Luke?
Saratoga.
Correct. What people who founded the Kievan Rus state and made up the Byzantine Empire's Varangian Guard colonized the Faroe Islands and Iceland in longships? That is Luke.
The Norse.
Yeah, I can take that. Norse or Vikings. In biology, what unselfish behavior exhibited by chimpanzees occurs when Luke?
Altruism.
Good speed there, an individual sacrificing their own fitness to benefit others. What country, where a majority of the population speaks Guarani, shares the Itaipu Dam with neighboring Brazil and has its capital at Asuncion? That is Luke.
Paraguay.
Well done, that's right. What author's story, The Color Out of Space, and novella, The Shadow over Innsmouth, are examples of his use of... Luke?
Lovecraft.
Barely in time, but you got there. Well done. What substance, which co-discoverer Joseph Priestley called dephlogisticated air, is the second most common gas in Earth's atmosphere after Ben?
Oxygen?
That's right.
Yeah.
Philip Glass's operatic Portrait trilogy is made up of Einstein on the Beach, Satyagraha, and what 1984 work with ancient Egyptian lyrics? Jamie?
Aida.
No. Winnebago with a chance to buzz? And that is time. That's Akhenaten there. About the ancient Egyptian pharaoh that tried very briefly to do monotheism. So that is the end of the round and the end of the game. Winnebago, Fourth place is a very solid effort, especially considering that I believe you are all freshmen. So it's been a pleasure having you and your teammates over the course of the series. Auburn 520, third place, but you earned it in style. Congratulations. We'll see you all next time.